How much should you risk per trade? And also, how do you calculate that risk? Let's talk about that and more right now. Hi Forex traders, it is Andrew Mitchem here at the Forex Trading Coach with video and podcast number 405. And I've received an email this week from a trader called Diop. And Diop, by the way, you said you started listening to all my podcasts and you're currently up to number 202. You're about halfway, this is number 405. So well done for listening through to those. And you said you're really enjoying them and you understand the concept of, you said you've been looking online, you should risk somewhere between 1 to 5% of your account per trade. And you also know that in my case, I suggest that's still way too high and you should actually be half of that. You should actually be half of 1% risk per trade. But your question is, how do you calculate that and what do you do with your trading in order to make that happen? And to ensure that you have controlled risk, but also some of those sort of bigger stop loss trades aren't going to wipe out your gains. And I can see where you're coming from, but also I think there's a slight misunderstanding there. So I'll give you the very quick answer. The quick answer is to download my lot size calculator. It works on MT4 and MT5, and I will put a link on this video and podcast post so you can get a free copy. And of course that applies to anybody who would like a free copy of that. It's really, really easy and it takes you about 5 seconds to do. All you do with it is you drag it onto your chart, you put the stop loss of the trade that you're willing or wishing to take into it, just type it in, literally type it in and press OK, and it will tell you the lot size that you need for that trade. So the thing that you need to understand from a manual point of view to understand the workings behind that is that you have to understand that different currency pairs pay a different amount per pip, depending on what the currency pair is and also what your own account denomination is. So Diop, I notice you're talking about your account being in pounds. So your account in British pounds, let's say with £100 will obviously be very, very different to my account with 100 New Zealand dollars or someone with 100 US dollars. So it's the account denomination that is affected, plus it's each individual currency pair that has different amounts per pip. But for the sake of this, let's say very easy round numbers. Let's say we have a US dollar account and we're trading the pound US or the euro US. Notice that the US is second there in each of those currencies. Now, if you're trading one standard lot, that's 1.0 lots, that pays $10 per pip. If you are trading a mini lot, that is 0.1 lots, that pays $1 per pip. If you are trading a micro lot, that is 0.01 lots, that pays 10 cents per pip. Now let's say, for example, and again, ease of numbers, so let's say you have a $10,000 account. If you have that $10,000 account, it means if you're risking half of 1% on your trade, it means you're risking $50 on that trade. So $50 per trade. It doesn't matter what the stop loss is, what the time frame is. Let's say it's $50 per trade you are risking because that is half of 1% of your account, which is $10,000. Okay. So let's say you were doing that. If you had a 50 pip stop loss, again, for ease of numbers, ease of calculation, you're risking $50, you have a 50 pip stop loss. Therefore, you need to trade at 0.1 lots, one mini lot on that particular trade. Because it means you're risking $1 per pip. 50 pips goes the wrong way, it means you've lost $50, and therefore that means you've lost the pre-known amount on your account, which is half of 1%. So let's now use the example of a trade with a 100 pip stop loss. Therefore, you need to risk half of the previous lot size because you've gone from a 50 pip stop loss to a 100 pip stop loss. Therefore, instead of risking 0.1 lots per trade, if your trade now has a 100 pip stop loss, you need to risk 0.05 pips per trade, 5 microlots. And therefore, as another example, if the trade has a 25 pip stop loss, you need to risk double. So instead of 0.1 lots, you're now risking 0.2 lots. Now, that should be fairly straightforward. if you struggle with that, just go through the numbers, the basic numbers, and you'll soon figure that out. But as I said, the easiest way of doing that is to forget the manual side of things, drag on my script, put in the stop loss, it tells you the answer. Because the great thing about the script is it knows your account size because it can read it off MT4. It knows the account denomination because it can read it off MT4. And it knows what chart you're looking at trading because you're dragging it on to that particular chart. Very, very simple. It's a massive time saver. It keeps your risk controlled and known. So don't forget, first of all, you do need to know the stop loss size of your trade in pips. It's the only real time you need to worry about pips. You measure the stop loss of your trade in pips, but it is the lot size that you place on that trade that is the big determining factor that keeps your risk low per trade. Don't just go placing 0.1 lots on a trade or 0.05 or whatever it is. Don't just do the same on every trade, regardless of its stop loss size or its currency, the pair that you're trading. The important thing is that you have low, controlled and known risk on every single trade. Therefore, you could trade a weekly chart trade that may need to have a 150 pip stop loss, or you can trade a 5-minute chart trade that might need to have an 8 pip stop loss, as an example. So every trade has the same risk. It's the lot size that you place on that trade that is the thing that changes. So Diop, I hope that helps. And if anybody else has any questions just like this, and thank you very much for emailing that through as well, by the way. If you have any questions like this that you'd like me to cover on future videos and podcasts to help you out, we are here to help. So once again, this is Andrew Mitchem here at the Forex Trading Coach. Don't forget to download my lot size calculator. It will be on this page. Bye for now. See you next week.